All right. Hey, welcome back to the channel, everyone, and welcome to our first Sunday market outlook. So, we got a couple things to talk about. I'm going to keep this nice and short and sweet today. Um, we've got quite a week coming up again. I know we just went through last week a whole bunch of data we were waiting for, and the week before that, at least half of the week, we had a whole bunch of data. Well, we got a whole bunch of data and important inflation data coming out this week also. Pretty much every single day this week, there is something coming out that could have a pretty strong effect on the market. And we're going to talk about where the market is right now because we're at kind of a very important place where the market could go either way. It could tip and fall even further than it has already, or we could finally get a bounce and maybe head towards new all-time highs. But we're in a very, very important place, and we're going to talk about it in a few minutes. First, let's head over to what to expect for this week coming up as far as news and data. Okay. So on Monday, we have consumer inflation expectations. Normally, this is low impact to the market, but given everything that has been happening, given all the talks on tariffs and rebound in inflation because of tariffs and this whole trade war that we're in now, I think that this is going to be a pretty important number to the market and to sentiment altogether. If consumer expectations of inflation, okay, starts to go up, that's going to be a problem. All right. If expectations start to increase, that becomes a problem because that's when inflation actually might start to increase as well. If the expectation is that it's going to increase, then usually it follows with an increase. Okay. And the Fed is going to actually pay attention to that, I believe. As long as we can keep expectations where we're at or low, then we'll be okay. So that is what's coming out on Monday. Tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we get consumer inflation expectations. Okay. Tuesday, we have JOLTS. JOLTS is usually a pretty decent, high impact data point for the market. Okay. Job openings, that's kind of one of the main focuses of the Fed, right? Is jobs. And we've been pretty good. We've been pretty strong with where that has been, and it's been maintaining. So Tuesday, we get JOLTS at 10 a.m. And that's the big high impact data point on Tuesday. So look out for that. On Wednesday, our good old friend CPI. Wednesday is CPI data, and we get CPI at 8:30 in the morning. We're going to get core CPI inflation, and we're going to get CPI. All right, those are the big high impact numbers, month over month and year over year. Those both of those, and then your same thing for core month over month, and core year over year inflation. Okay, we got four data points there. That comes out 8:30 a.m. Wednesday morning. Okay, and that's going to have an impact on the market. Okay, and the economy in general. These are all very important things that the Fed watches. Okay, so right after core and CPI on Thursday, we're going to get our PPI numbers. Okay, um, same thing, 8:30 in the morning. We get our month over month and year over year PPI and for core as well. You also get your normal every Thursday continuing and initial jobless claims. Okay, those have been coming in pretty much at expectations as is. So hopefully, if all of these numbers come in good or at expectation at least, and we don't have any huge misses to the downside, any surprises, okay, maybe we'll maintain and we'll get some stability at least, or some sideways trading at the best for this week. Okay, so that's on Thursday. All right, so Monday, um, consumer inflation expectation. Tuesday's JOLTS. Wednesday, CPI. Thursday's PPI. Okay, and then some jobs data. On Friday, going along with Monday's data, we get Michigan consumer sentiment. Okay, big piece of data there as well. And we want Monday's data and Friday's data to align. All right, that's going to be important. Now, I said earlier that we are at this important place right now with the NASDAQ. So let's go over to the bigger chart here so we can see this a little bit better here, right? This is the day chart for the NASDAQ 100. I've been talking about this trend line here that the NASDAQ has been respecting for the past 2 years, okay? We have broken through and maintained. On top of that, we have also broken through to the downside, the 200-day moving average for the NASDAQ as well. Broken through and also maintained. And we are now sitting on a very important support, okay? So we have all this data coming out this week, all right? I would expect for the week coming, just like we have been for the last 2 weeks, I would expect volatility, okay? Increased volatility. Normal volatility is okay. We're going to get high volatility, especially depending on how this data comes out, all right? So expect high volatility, expect consolidation or sideways trading if we get at expectation data, okay? If we don't and we get missed to the downside and we break through this support here, I would say we have some more downside in the market, okay? And where we go from there, it could be a pretty decent fall from there. All right. Right now we're maintaining 20,000. Okay. The current price is 20,010 basically. So we're sitting on this key level right now. And that's a huge mental number as well, right? 20,000. If we break below 20,000 and we maintain that, I would say that we're going to have some continued downside for the market. All right. And I think it's going to be a pretty decent pullback. Okay. Futures opened up this week, Sunday evening, lower. Okay. The S&P 500 had its worst week, closed its worst week this past week since September. Okay. A lot of downside the past 2 weeks, I'd say, right? We tested all-time highs here, and we've just been falling since. And there's been a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty in the market with tariffs and war stuff, and a lot of macroeconomics, okay, that are happening. Tariffs kicking in, tariffs was a big piece of the news, and we kind of slowed down with it a little bit. Now it kicked back up, tariffs are back in, all these things, right? And this is nothing surprising. This is nothing surprising. It shouldn't be surprising. We knew that this was coming, right? It's almost as if that nobody expected President Trump to actually do what he said he was going to do in the campaign trail, right? But this is exactly what he said he was going to do. So I don't understand why it is so surprising. But anyway, so that's where we're at. Okay, so we're maintaining this 20,000 level so far. We could have a pretty decent downside still, and we have a lot of data coming out all week. So just be careful. This week is going to be another slow week for trading, I'd say, at least for me. Be careful. Decrease your expectations, I'd say. Look out for some extreme volatility in the market. And if we get mixed data throughout the week, you're going to have even more volatility. All right. So just be aware. That's our weekly market outlook. I'm going to try to do this every Sunday evening. But that's where we're at right now. Okay. And you can see here in the chart that the last time we broke the 200-day moving average in the NASDAQ, which was back in January of 2022, okay, we had a very decent pullback in the market, okay? And if you can compare what you see here to what's going on here, it looks pretty similar, this breakthrough the 200-day moving average here. where we have a pretty steep fall. We retest a couple times, and we have an overall downtrend in the market here. We had a pretty decent correction in the market. So look at where we are now. Again, we have this steep fall. Okay. After testing all time highs, steep fall, tested all time highs, steep fall, broke through the 200-day moving average. Okay. I'm not predicting anything. What I'm just saying, this is a key level here. Okay. For us. And we have a lot, and it just so happens to be right when all this inflation data is coming out. Okay. So keep that in mind. That's our market outlook for this week. Stay safe, stay green, be super, super picky with your trades this week coming up. Okay. Try not to force anything. Stay cash if you need to. It's a week. Let it go by. If you don't get an opportunity, don't force anything. Keep your winnings. Don't lose it in this type of market that we will have again coming up this week. All right, so that's my Sunday market outlook for you. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you have any ideas or thoughts for me to implement in these Sunday videos for you, let me know in the comments down below. Check out the links down below. Join my free Discord. Link is in the description for that as well. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning when the market opens. Have a good night.